So in a recent private discussion with a bunch of super fans of the channel, I found out that a lot of people are actually sitting on a lot of the ore. And they haven't spent none of it. They only spend ore when they go to collect any of the things that Sargon has on sale. They never buy any Olympian gifts. And I find this amazing. So I want to open a discussion. I'm Darkstrider, the YouTube Assassin. Let's get into this. And before we get started, if you want to hit these kind of levels of mastery, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and that you have that bell hit so that you never miss content whenever it comes. So this discussion I had, I feel was completely wild. I was blown away. There are so many people apparently that do not use their ore that they find or that they earn on weeklies or mercenaries or ships or anything like that, dailies, finding it all around all of Greece. They'll just store it. They don't use it at all. They use it only when Sargon has something for sale. And some of them don't even buy everything that Sargon has, not even all the legendaries that he would have. And I found that absolutely amazing. It got to a point where even one person claimed that he had almost 20,000 ore because he's been playing the game for 2 years from day one, and he has saved every single piece of ore, spending the minimal only on things that Sargon has. He hasn't been out there gambling it away. And the question I had for him was, why? Like, really, why? And it got me curious to know if, like, everybody else is doing that as well. I know some people refuse to actually spend the ore. Some people really go in. Me personally, whenever I got ore, it really didn't take me long before I spent it. I used to make sure I had a decent amount of ore, maybe about 500 pieces or so, and then I would get whatever Sargon had in his shop, and whatever I didn't buy in Sargon's shop, I would actually use the ore and get Olympian gifts. And that's literally how I got all my legendary gear. Everything that I have really was from gambling it away, was from gambling the ore. And I know that the drop rates really are not the best. They're really not. You've seen a bunch of my drop rate videos, and you've seen where, like, I'll do like 20 pulls and I'll get maybe 2 or 3 legendary items, and sometimes they would just be absolute crap. Sometimes it would complete a set. It all depended. It was just really, really weird. But I mean, if you've got like almost 20,000 pieces of ore, why would you not spend that? You're already at the end of the game's life cycle. We've been at the end of the game's life cycle. This thing is 2 years old. We're about to see Valhalla in about a month. So I'm just curious. It just blew my mind that he would save so much ore. And then the thing is, he's not alone, because there are several other people that may not have had as much as he had, but they all had a huge reserve of ore that they were just storing. I think the lowest number that I was quoted was 5,000 pieces of ore. And again, I'm just like, why? Why would you hold all that ore? Why would you hold on to that? How do you not have the temptation to spend that all, to get rid of it all, to use it on Olympian gifts and possibly get just a metric butt ton of freaking legendary gear? Like, I was just blown away. The lowest quote had to be like 5,000. It was crazy. So people are actually storing the ore. They're playing the game religiously still. They're doing the dailies. They're doing the weeklies. They're the top tier mercenaries, so they're collecting the 44 pieces or 11 pieces of ore, depending. And then after that, they're just going right into storing it. They're not even buying anything with it. They'll buy some things. I think the guy that had the 20,000 pieces of ore, he only bought things he wanted. So like all these ship parts and everything, he's not collecting. Any piece of armor that he doesn't really want, he's not collecting that either. He's only gonna go for things that he really, really wants. So certain sets. Me personally, I did it. I wanted every single legendary because I wanted every single engraving. I wanted to see what everything did. And I was absolutely blown away that this is the life that he's leading in the game. So my question to you is, what are you doing with your ore? Are you doing the same thing? This is absolutely phenomenal to me. Now, I've collected every single weapon, every single piece of armor, every single ship part, crew member, anything you could think of that was legendary, I collected, and it was just for my own gratification. It was just because I wanted it all, and also I wanted to make sure I had every single engraving so that if I made builds, I would be able to make some pretty awesome builds, even with the most obscure of armor pieces and whatnot. So that's why I did it. But, you know, to each their own. I'm pretty sure that there are some people who wouldn't go and collect some of these armor pieces because some of them are pretty useless. Some of them really aren't really that good. In fact, I think this is it, the Icaros set. The Icaros set really disappointed me, honestly, and I did a review of it and I showed people what it was about so that way they didn't go and pick it up because, you know, it just to make the gimmick work was a lot of work. And now my problem is, as you can see in the lower right hand corner, my gear capacity and my storage capacity on the ship are both completely full, and that's because I have so many epic pieces that I wanted to work on. Actually, this has damage on animals. This is a I can't even dismantle this. Look at this. What a pain that is. I don't know why. Anyway, this is all kinds of stuff that I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to obtain all kinds of different pieces of armor, epic that is, so that way what I can do is I can make different builds and whatnot. So that was really important to me. That's what I wanted to do. It's not something that, you know, everybody does. It's really weird. It's kind of odd. As you can see, I do have some rare pieces, but these are those special pieces that you got from the Ubisoft store or from the Ubisoft club. So that's why those rare pieces are in here. I really don't need those. But a lot of these, obviously, I got either from battle or from DLC or just from doing the Ecos of the Olympians and getting all kinds of stuff ready, getting all kinds of stuff through there. But the thing is that, you know, everything that I didn't use or I didn't need, like, I don't know how that one animal thing survived because I usually don't collect anything that has attack on animals, like this one, damage on animals. There's another one. Why do I have this here? I'm gonna have to do like a cleaning shop of all this stuff. I usually don't do damage on animals or damage on Spartan or Athenian factions. I usually try to go for like other things as well. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to clean this out. Look at this, 40% damage on Spartan soldiers. Not a fan of that stuff. Like to make sure I have damage on everybody. And some of these pieces are really great, so, you know, it's just something to work with. It's a lot of stuff that I wanted to work with. That's why I did it, and that's why I didn't mind doing all those pulls at the Ecos of the Olympians. But for some reason, some people have the mindset that you have to get only legendaries from Sargon's shop. And I'm just wondering, what's your mentality on this? Because I see a lot of people, a lot of these people in this little private discussion, they really went in and they really had a lot of ore. They really did not want anything from Sargon unless it was legendary. Now, for those of you who followed me since the beginning, yes, I have a ton of this ore. Not really a ton. 545 pieces really is not a lot of ore. But the thing is that there is nothing else I can collect from the ecos of the Olympians. The only reason I'm even getting ore now is just because all I do is the weekly resets for you guys. So that's when I get all the ore. I'm not purposely doing dailies or anything else like that. As you can see, I've collected all the ore on the map because in the very beginning, like I said, I really wanted to get all this stuff together. I really wanted to make sure I had everything, and not just that I had everything, that I had all the legendaries so that I could really give you guys good assessments of all the legendary gear and items. I've done the whole, thing with the horses. I've done showcase for the horses. I could probably do showcases for weapons, armor, sails, crew members, anything that you guys want. All you got to do is ask. But the thing is that I no longer have any more need for ore. So eventually this is just going to like really stack. If I plan on continuously doing the weekly reset for those of you who are just getting this game, or, have gotten it recently or plan on getting it in the future, who haven't even started it yet, I'll plan on doing the weekly resets, and I'll probably still be collecting ore. I'll probably be collecting only 80 ore per week. I don't plan on doing the dailies, or 88 ore per week, because I'm the top tier mercenary. Of course, I'm going to get 44 every time I do something, but that's about it. I don't have any plans on getting anything else. I've got everything unless they come out with a brand new set or something like they did with the Northern Traveler set recently, but I don't think they're going to do anything more like that. I think that that's going to be just kaputs. It's just what it is. I could probably do more Atlantis DLC and probably get other items than the items that I got. I could probably get something else, because I only picked that one item. But we'll see. It all depends. There's like a bunch of things that people have gotten that people could get that people are still in process of getting. And again, it just blew my mind that there were people that are just storing all of their ore. So I want to hear from you. What is your plan? Do you plan on just constantly storing this ore and just waiting like 2-3 years until Sargon has something of value to you? Do you collect everything from Sargon? Do you, even though we've got this crew, do you still collect the crew? By the way, every time you obtain a legendary item, it lowers the chance of you finding, or it increases the chance of you finding other legendaries in the Olympian gifts, but it also lowers your chances of finding legendaries, because as the legendary pool grows smaller, it gets harder and harder to obtain legendaries. But that's a risk you take. Let me know in the comments below, like, what you plan on doing with your ore, if you plan on just holding on to it, and if you still have ore, or if you still have whatever you're doing with this ore, what's your end game? And if you have this ore, how much of this ore do you have? I would love to hear from you. I want to hear what kind of numbers you have and why you choose not to spend the ore on the Olympian gifts. I would love to hear from you. Also, what do you think we're going to see in Valhalla as far as this kind of shop? Do you think that we're going to have the shop basis like Retta did, being that it's the same team that did Origins, where you would just get a Heka chest and there was a chance that you got something from that, or that you did a daily and there was a chance you got a legendary from there? And by the way, the Heka chests were from real money, or not from real money, from the actual money that you got in the game. So at this rate, with this kind of money, I could open a gazillion Heka chests and probably collect every single legendary in one fell swoop if I had saved this much up and decided to use it all. It all depends. Now, when we got to Odyssey, they decided to use the whole ore system. Do you think we're going to have another ore system or something similar to that? Like maybe being that it's going to be, like Norse mythology or something, some kind of runes or like, mystical feathers or something. Like, what do you think we're going to do in the next game? I'd love to hear from you about that as well. Anyway, that's all there is to this video. I was really interested in finding out what you guys are doing with ore and how much you have saved. I think it's an awesome discussion. No judgment. It's just really incredible. Other than that, I really do hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out an awful lot. And as always, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Until the next one, take care.